Hello students, today I am going to explain you Mycobacterium tuberculosis. As you know, tuberculosis is the fine example or good example of the chronic granulomatous infection in the human. Okay, the higher incidence of the tuberculosis due to malnutrition, inadequate care, medical care, poverty, crowding, we people where we stay in India, the crowding is there, population is very much. So, because of it's spreading by the droplet infection, so we can catch very easily. The debilitating states like diabetes and many persons takes alcoholism and immunocompromised states can get the tuberculum bacteria. In Western countries, uh, there has been resurgence of tuberculosis due to mostly due to HIV, AIDS. The genetic factors also play a key role in the innate resistance to the infection with the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, because some proteins in our body lacking, so some genetic factors also can cause the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So Mycobacterium tuberculosis having three strains, mainly there are a lot of strains, but three strains mainly: the Mycobacterium omnis, Mycobacterium bovis, and Mycobacterium avium. So Mycobacterium omnis is uh, the bacterium. It can spread by man to man, okay, by the droplet infection. And Mycobacterium bovis, it can be spread by the infected cow or cattle if you have taken the unpasteurized milk or non boiled the milk, so you can ingest the bacterium also, or tuberculosis can happen. So the tuberculosis bacterium, the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, how it looks like? It looks like a rod-shaped cylinder-like bacillus. Its size is only 0.5 micron to 3 micron, 3 micrometer. Okay, the natural, it's a natural gram-staining bacteria, and uh, this is called acid-fast bacillus. Okay, AFB. And it can be demonstrated by, कैसे demonstrate होगा ये? It can be demonstrated by the Gill-Nielsen stain. This bacteria is very having coating of the fat, this glycolipids. So every stain fails to stain it. So Gill-Nielsen stain is very effectively stains the bacteria. Okay, so as you know, the Mycobacterium tuberculosis uh, in our country is the biggest problem, because in whole world's population, 30% population having tuberculosis, and in which 30 to 40% in China, and near about 60 to 70% in having the tuberculosis infected persons in India. So it's a very huge task to treat this or tackle this. So how it is spread? By the droplet infection, by the ingested milk, cow milk, boiled or unpasteurized. So it can enter in your body through your mouth or nasal cavity. So, how it infect us? So, I am going to tell you. So, the process of the entering the bacteria in your body and how it affects us. So, I am going to explain you the primary tuberculosis. What is the primary tuberculosis? When the person never get any infection by the Mycobacterium tuberculosis and they get the Mycobacterium tuberculosis primarily or first time. So it is called primary tuberculosis. So by the lymphadenous spread, it can spread throughout the body. Primary tuberculosis can spread in our body. It's depend upon your immune system and your hypersensitivity reactions and your inflammatory process, how it stops or not. So the primary tuberculosis, if you can say कि अगर आपके बॉडी में TB बैक्टीरिया है, if it resides in your body, you can say you are tubercular. Okay, because many times they resist in our body by the macrophages and they never get any symptoms for long time. बहुत समय तक भी नहीं देता. So I am going to explain you primary tuberculosis. So look at that. So the Mycobacterium tuberculosis bacteria, it enters through the epithelium of our trachea, then enters into the alveolar sac. This is the alveolar sac of the lung, and this is the pleural cavity. Okay, so it enters into our alveolar sac, and the alveolar macrophages will trap it first. So जैसा कि मैंने पहले भी आपको बताया है कि मैक्रोफेजेस कैसे किसी भी बैक्टीरियम या उनको अटैच करते हैं बाय द ऑक्सीजन्स और बाय द प्रोटीन्स. सो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ ways to attract or connect with the macrophage. This is macrophage, this is nucleus of the macrophage. So Menon receptors by the manons of the bacterium can connect, and C3b of the bacterium of the opposite side receptors is also in macrophage can accept it and attach with this. Then next process, जैसा कि आप पहले भी आपने देखा था कि मैक्रोफेजेस आपके फैगोसोम्स का फॉर्मेशन करते हैं. दे फॉर्म द फैगोसोम एंड it captures the Mycobacterium tuberculosis phagosome, and after that lysosomes can attach with the phagosome, and it forms normally it forms phagolysosome. Okay, normally, but in this condition, in my Mycobacterium infection, the phagolysosome attachment or fusion will not occur. By how? Because this bacterium, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, can manipulate the pH of your macrophages and which proteins help to connect this back like phagosomes and the lysosome. So it also manipulates. So maturation will be not there, because the bacterium, the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, have property to manipulate the pH and protein of the macrophages. So the maturation will not occur, like phagosome और lysosome नहीं जुड़ पाएंगे, then बैक्टीरिया आराम से यहाँ पर रिजाइड करेगा। और इवन ये ठीक से अगर फ्यूज़ भी नहीं होते फैगोलाइसोसोम, देन ये रेप्लिकेट भी करते रहते हैं इन योर फैगोसोम ऑल्सो। इट्स अ वेरी गुड होम फॉर योर बैक्टीरियम ऑल्सो। सो दिस इज़ वेरी bad thing for our body, and this is a very reason for primary tuberculosis also. तो फिर क्या होता है, बैक्टीरियम विल बी देयर इन एल्वेलर सैक। इसी के अंदर एल्वेलर सैक के अंदर आपके बैक्टीरिया रिसाइड करेगा, एंड आपका बैक्टीरिया फैगोसाइट्स में भी होगा, ये सॉरी मैक्रोफेजेस में भी रहेगा, एंड फ्रैगमेंट्स ऑफ द some bacterias, some fragments be, or you can say antigen also will be there. Okay, so because of manipulation of the bacterium, the maturation will not occur, यानी कि फ्यूज़न नहीं हो पाएगा फैगोसोम एंड लाइसोसोम का, एंड बैक्टीरिया अनअफेक्टेड होगा, या अफेक्टेड होगा भी तो फ्रैगमेंट्स में रह कर के एंटीजन के रूप में, या इसके आपके मैक्रोफेजेस के साथ में रहेगा, या इटसेल्फ अलग से भी बाहर आके जब बस्ट करेगा आपका मैक्रोफेजेस, तो ये बाहर आ सकता है। सो अब इस स्थिति में क्या होगा, इन दिस कंडीशन द मैक्रोफेजेस एंड बैक्टीरियम एंड द focus of this area controlled by our immune system, and TB didn't happen, यानी कि ये इसी में ट्रैप होकर के ये कंटिन्यूसली यहीं पर विद द मैक्रोफेजेस रहेगा। सो फर्स्ट कंडीशन इन प्राइमरी ट्यूबरक्लोसिस कैन बी अकर दिस। ओके, देन नेक्स्ट सेकेंड कंडीशन क्या हो सकती है, द एंटीजेंस ऑफ द or fragments of the pathogens and your macrophages with the bacterium, or itself bacterium also can go to the lymph nodes and infect the lymph nodes of the alveolar lymph node, hilar lymph nodes of the lung can affect by the pathogens, macrophage, and antigen of the bacteria. So then they can infect the lymph nodes, and after the attachment of the macrophages with the T lymphocyte by MSC, so they attach and then activated your macrophages can secrete the interleukin 12, and by the interleukin 10 your lymphocyte T cells or CD4 plus cells will activated by the interleukin 12, and interleukin 12 activates the T cells, and your lymph nodes will go for enlargement like this. So lymph node will enlarge, and it will release enlargement by the interleukin 2. Interleukin 12 activates the your T cells, and after that interleukin 2 is started to release, and it will enlarge the T T cells or your lymph nodes. Okay, after that interferon gamma will released by the T cells and will activate macrophage also. Okay, then macrophage starts releasing the chemokines or chemoattractants like tumor necrotic factor. Okay, then it will start to produce interleukin 1. Interleukin 1 can give the symptom of the fever also, appetite, loss of appetite and also. Then the nitric oxide, DNA's or the replication of the DNA can produce the nitric oxide. Okay, third number पे nitric oxide. Then the macrophages is release the ROS, यानी reactive oxygen species. Then all these reactions in lymph nodes and by the other macrophages responses, the granuloma will be formed. All these activities, जैसे जैसे ये सारी activities होंगी, then granuloma will be appear. I have explained you what is the granuloma. So the granuloma is this: epithelial cells will there, and your fatty acids necrotize the cells, and the necrotic debris will be there in middle cheese-like area, and epithelial cells surrounded by this, and T lymphocyte cells and giant cells of the zone, and after that calcification or calcium salts with the fibroblast cells can counter or developing the bacterium also. So bacterium will rest in your body with the granuloma जब बन जाएगा तो ये granuloma के साथ में आपके इसी में रहेगा एक स्थान पे. So a lot of granuloma ये मिल करके ये आपका बनाते हैं gone focus. So gone focus यही बन जाते हैं. Then अगर ये spread किया है, then it spreads to the lymph nodes also and involve the lymph node of the your lungs also. So it is called totally gone focus and your lymph node involvement. तो सभी को मिला करके दिस इज कॉल्ड, दोनों सबको मिला करके इसको कहेंगे गॉन कॉम्प्लेक्स. दिस कॉल्ड गॉन कॉम्प्लेक्स. ओके, देन वन पॉसिबिलिटी इज ऑल्सो देयर. तीसरी पॉसिबिलिटी क्या हो सकती है? जैसा कि पहली पॉसिबिलिटी तो ये हुई कि फैगोसोम लाइजोसोम्स का फ्यूज़न नहीं हुआ, देन वो फिर भी वो रह गया अंदर ही और उसने अपने सराउंडिंग और भी बैक्टीरियम को वो किया. आपके जितने भी मैक्रोफेजेस हैं उन्होंने भी अपने अंदर रखा, कुछ फ्रैगमेंट्स आए एंटीजेंस में बने उसके और वो रह गया. देन नेक्स्ट होता है कि वो हिमेटोजेनस स्प्रेड के थ्रू लिम्फ नोड्स को भी वो किया, इन्फेक्ट किया. देन वहाँ पर कुछ प्रोसेसेस हुए जो कीमोकाइंस वगैरह कीमोट्रैक्टेंट्स की वजह से सारे रिएक्शंस हुए, सब कुछ हुआ, नाइट्रिक ऑक्साइड की रिलीज हुआ. देन आपके रॉस यानी कि रिएक्टिव ऑक्सीजन स्पीसीज आई. देन सारे प्रोसेसेस के बाद भी बैक्टीरियम एक फोकस बना करके आपके बॉडी में रहता है, बिकॉज दे आर वेरी स्मार्ट बैक्टीरिया. सो द थर्ड outcome can be here. If any patients don't have much more efficient NRAM1 protein. NRAM1 protein क्या करता है? It's it helps to connect phagosome and lysosome. Okay, so it's lacking, not functioning होता है या लेस फंक्शनिंग होता है, प्रॉपरली नहीं होता है, तो जेनेटिक प्रॉब्लम होती है. दिस इज जेनेटिक प्रॉब्लम. सो दिस प्रोटीन अलाउज टू फ्यूज फाइगोसोम एंड लाइसोसोम. क्या करता है? ये इनको जोड़ने का प्रयास. बट ये इट्सेल्फ जेनेटिक प्रॉब्लम की वजह से नहीं हो पाता. देन ये प्रॉब्लम अगर प्राइमरी ट्यूबरकुलोसिस किसी को होती है, देन NRAM1 प्रोटीन की डिफिशेंसी की वजह से पर्सन्स कैन रिजॉल्व नहीं कर पाएगा और या कैप्सुलेटेड होकर के ट्यूबरकुलोसिस नहीं रह पाएगा, एंड वो प्रोग्रेस ही करेगा. दिस इज़ कॉल्ड प्राइमरी प्रोग्रेसिव ट्यूबरकुलोसिस. ओके, दिस इज़ कॉल्ड प्राइमरी प्रोग्रेसिव ट्यूबरकुलोसिस. तो मैनी persons don't have NRAM1 protein because of genetic problem. So it can create the lower part of your lung, because primary complex will start in this area. This is lower part of the, and when progressive TB will be appear, when primary progressive TB continuously अगर होता रहेगा, देन यहाँ पर इस एरिया में ये आपका प्लूरा भी इफेक्ट कर जाएगा. देन इट कैन कॉज द प्लूरल इफ्यूज़न, एम्पाइमा, ओके, और हाइड्रोथोरैक्स. सो द प्लूरल इफ्यूज़न can be there. Okay, so if you'll see the microscopically, you can see the gone focus, but microscopically you can't see the granuloma, but a lot of granulomas fuse with the fuse and form the gone focus. The gone focus, and your lymph is also involved with this. So this is called gone complex, and you can say primary complex, and this is called primary tuberculosis. Okay, so it's all about primary tuberculosis. And secondary tuberculosis कब होगा? After the primary tuberculosis. It can be कभी भी हो सकता है. If your immune system is very down, then it can be affect after the primary tuberculosis 1 or 2 months also. It can after the year or 2 year, when you get ill more or your immune system will go down, then they can appear. Okay, so primary tuberculosis and secondary tuberculosis both are different entities, and you can say कि इसको हम अलग अलग बीमारियों के तौर पे ले सकते हैं. ओके, प्राइमरी ट्यूबरकुलोसिस, आफ्टर द सेकेंडरी ट्यूबरकुलोसिस होगा. देन मिलियरी ट्यूबरकुलोसिस ऑल्सो. मिलियरी ट्यूबरकुलोसिस मैं आपको बाद में बता दूँगा. ओके, सो दैट्स अबाउट प्राइमरी ट्यूबरकुलोसिस और ट्यूबरकुलोसिस.